Hey, what's up, Improvement Warrior? Jason Yun, back with you again. Lucy and the monkey, Fenway, she's eating grass. We call her Monkey. I think she thinks she's a cow. She's confused. But we're back at our morning sunspot. It's a new morning sunspot. So, the other one, the sun is blocked by a tree for like 5 or 6 minutes. So we moved over here. It's a giant lily pond. So the sun usually comes over there. It's a great day, so I thought I'd make a video to make the time go faster. But basically the sun is somewhere over in that direction, and that's the area I typically look. Wanted to make a video just going over my entire morning sun routine. It's June, late June 27th, I believe it is. And so this is the second time I've been out. I slept in the tent last night, and when I sleep in the tent, I'll usually come in, go to the bathroom, get my water, and go drink my water outside. I'll show you that area once I get back.
5 minutes completed. Burnt calories, 30 calories.
But I'll sit here, shirt off, eyes off, no contacts, no sunglasses, no glasses. I did have to wear my blue blockers because there's a lamp post there. It's light sensitive, so they keep the lights on until enough light is out. So usually when there's no clouds, it turns off within 10 minutes, but now it was like 25-30 minutes until they turned it off. Gotta block the blue light at all times. And I'll sit here. I am grounded, okay, in my Kaniki, so tan through bathing suit. And I'll sit here about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on the season. And so, but it's usually 15 minutes is how long I stay here. And I'll usually listen to either a podcast or a Jack Cruz webinar or Q&A. Gotta keep feeding that mind. And just breathe. So, super important to get the light, even if it's cloudy, the light is still coming through. Sun is super powerful. That's why it's not dark. I mean, it's darker than it would be if there was no clouds. I think it's gonna rain. Heard thunder in the distance. I think it's 50% chance of rain today, but it's okay. Even if it's raining, get outside. See that light. So we have the suprachiasmatic nucleus inside of our eye, and we've got a bunch of other things connected. We've got the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the leptin receptors, the hypothalamus. Everything is connected through the eye. All disease, obesity, all mitochondrial diseases start through the eye, because your suprachiasmatic nucleus is the grandfather clock. It's the master clock. It's the master circadian oscillator. It needs to run faster than all of the other body clocks. So in front of each of our genes, it's estimated between 19,000 to 25,000 genes we have. There is another clock that tells time. But the eye clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the SCN, has to run faster than all those other clocks. Because if its timing is off, because it tells all the other clocks what to do, gives a sense of what time it is based on the day, and it tells the clocks what to do, basically. So if your liver clock or your thyroid clock starts running faster than the SCN, then that's when things are going to stop working, and then disease will show up. So with the thyroid, Hashimoto's will show up, liver disease will show up, liver cancer, thyroid cancer, skin cancer, gut issues, SIBO, Crohn's disease, autoimmunity, all those stuff will start to show up if those clocks in that area start getting up bad or going bad. Okay? And this is the number one way to set those clocks. The reason I have my shirt off is we have photoreceptor called melanopsin. Melanopsin was discovered in the eye in, I believe, 97 or 99, and then it was discovered in the skin in 2017. So just discovered. Okay, and also in 2017, the Nobel Prize for Circadian Biology was given to two, I believe, American scientists. But circadian biology has been around for 4.5 billion years. So sun rises, sun falls. Light, dark, depending on where you are, because some places are dark 24/7 sometimes in the year, and they're light 24/7 for some times of the year. Okay, so it all depends on what your latitude is, when you would get out. So sunrise today was 7:05, and sunset will be 9:05, I believe.
10 minutes completed. Burnt calories 61 calories.
So 9:05, 6:05 to 9:05. So the summer solstice was the 19th of June, and we lose light in the beginning of the day. So 6:05, it'll be 6:06 pretty soon, and then it gets later and later, and the sunset gets later, but eventually the sunset will be earlier and the sunrise will keep getting, so it'll get darker sooner and whatnot. So we have the most light right now. That's why it's super important to get out in the summer throughout the day. But this video is not about that. It's about getting the morning sun and all that stuff. So other things that I'll do is pretty much nothing. I just described what I do for this. Sometimes I will take my Kaneki and slide my balls out. Yeah, maybe a little too much information, but it's super important to get those balls out. Ladies, it's important to get your private parts out, because the sun is the natural vaccine. The morning sun is turning on the, everything, poked myself in the eye. Morning sun is turning everything on, the anterior pituitary, all those hormones. When UVA shows up, which I'll show you later, melatonin will start to be created. So all the stuff gets turned on, everything. So there's nothing more important than the sun. Okay. But I'll be back for the next section of this. Say goodbye, monkey. Say goodbye. Alright, later. Part 2, I did forget something as I am here in my morning sunspot. I am sitting in a squat hold position. So that's the position I'm always in when I do this. Jack Cruz, I put up the 2017 Nourish Vermont video on Facebook. I'll do it on YouTube here pretty soon. I put it in 10 parts because I know there's a lot of people out there who can't watch a 2.5 hour video all in a row, so I broke it up into parts for you. Easier to digest, because if your dopamine levels are low, then it's going to be harder to absorb more information and think well throughout that information. That's what morning sun helps to create, is dopamine. But this squat hold position is something that is extremely important. Jack talks about making like the Sphinx and being like all fours in the ground and then looking up at the sun. But I found when I did that, my neck got completely jacked up doing that, so I switched to the squat hold position, which is a position that every single human should be able to do for 10 minutes. If you cannot get into this position here, feet flat, okay, feet flat, so if your heels are coming up, you can't sit in the position for a minute without having to come out. Some people can't even get into this position at all. But this is a natural position. We're supposed to, some countries still poop in this position. Some countries still sit and eat in this position. It's an extremely vital position. So give it a try. I did a video going over this 10-minute squat hold. Work up to 10 minutes. And when you're doing the morning sun, try and get in this position as much as you can. And then when it starts to hurt, stand up. Okay, go in, out, as much as you can throughout the day with it. I'll be back for another part. All right, so it's been 15 minutes and getting up, standing up, still grounded. Just put my clothes on, so shorts go on. All the while I am still staring in that general direction. When the sun's out, I'll be staring at the sun. 0 UV is out. So I live in Columbus, Ohio, New Albany, Ohio. It's the 40th latitude, and so UV does not show up until usually about 7:40. So it's about 70 to 80 minutes where it starts showing up. D-Minder app will tell you exactly when it shows up, but that'll be, I'll make the other part for that as well. But always staring at the sun while I'm putting on my clothes and shoes. So usually when the sun is out, I will walk backwards, and as long as I can see the sun and stare at the sun, but it's not out, so I usually will just turn around and walk normal. It is Saturday, so usually Monday through Friday there's a lot more people out walking their dogs and stuff, so but some people like to sleep in on a Saturday. But with the sun and becoming a mitochondriac, it's no sleeping in. You wake up with that sun, you get out. Okay, no sleeping in. The sun is your coffee, the sun is your caffeine, the sun wakes you up through the eye. And as I'm walking back, I'll stare at the sky as much as I can. Sun is somewhere over there, but as you can see, it's quite the foliage blocking it. So this is my spot right here when I first wake up, and then I'll basically stare at the sky. Sun usually comes somewhere over there, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's a light there. So I'll usually stand behind this pillar and then just drink my water and listen to a podcast or listen to Jack. And about 3 to 10 minutes, just depending on how I feel and how much water I want to drink. So usually it's at least, I would say, 16 ounces and up to 24 ounces. And that's another important fact, is that the first thing you want to do is drink that morning water, because it should be the longest time you've gone without water. So you're dehydrated, your mitochondria is dehydrated, and we need to get that water in as cold as possible, because cold water holds more electrons and delivers more oxygen to your body. Okay, so yeah, and then with the first drink of water, I always will drink it, swish it around, spit it out, because there's all kinds of bacteria and things that crawled into your mouth, and you want to get those out. So okay, so we're on the walk now. Peyton's out. This is the chunky mobile, as we call it. dogs are out. Usually I have Spencer, and usually she rides her bike or scooter, but couldn't get her up. So got her up past 5 days in a row, but some days with a toddler is harder. But we're out. It's 7:30, so in between the time I got home, I did a quick meditation, 2 minutes, and then I made my wife's coffee and breakfast shake with sardines, DHA. Gotta get that DHA. So now we're walking. Again, it's 7:30. So UVA is about to come out. It will come out as we're on our walk. And that's one important aspect, is getting that transition. So if you can be out during the actual transition, that's the best. Okay. But if not, you want to get out as soon as possible when UVA shows up. So don't have a shirt on. Okay. Again, get that melanopsin, the photoreceptors on our skin. It's very important to get that so it sees, because when UVA shows up, that's when it basically turns off the pituitary gland and the hormones that are associated with that. And also when UVA starts to show up, then we start making melatonin. Good stuff. Controls the respiratory proteins inside your mitochondria. So one of the most important things, never take exogenous melatonin ever. Only time it might be okay is if you're flying through time zones, because flying is just a huge circadian mismatch. Okay, so like I said, if you're becoming a mitochondria, you're going to seem weird. And that's okay. Because you're able to think better. And you're able to see the errors in people's ways. But it's not going to come overnight. It requires consistency. Consistency and persistence, just like I talk about all the time. So I'll see you for the next portion of this. That concludes our walk. So the Chunky Boy, or Chunky Mobile walk. Peyton is just wearing a diaper, so he's got his skin in the game, so he saw the transition as well. And what you're doing as well when you're out in the morning sun and the UV is low, so it's 1 right now, is you're building that solar callus. So red light will do that. Cloudy days, you got to think of it as an infrared sauna day, a nature infrared sauna, because you're building that solar callus. Sunset and close to sunset will also do that as well. And then when you build that solar callus, you're able to absorb more UV light, because in the book Light Shaping Life by Roland Van Wyck, there's many studies in there showing that all humans release extreme low frequency UV light, usually at night, and then you need to replace that light. Okay? And the more sick, the more you have, the more disease progression you have, the more UV light you are going to release. And I know a lot of people will say, hey, Jason, I don't have 10% body fat. I don't feel comfortable taking my shirt off and grounding and staring at the sun. Okay? If that's where you are, that's fine. Just make sure your eyes aren't covered. Get out. Okay? Wear a t-shirt, wear shorts. Okay? Whatever you got to do. But as you start to feel better, you'll start to think better. Okay? Because that's one of the main things that I want you to get out in the sun. It'll make you start thinking better. It'll make you start questioning things. It'll make you start wanting to learn more. Okay? And once you start feeling better, nothing feels better than health. Okay? Once you start that process of feeling better, you want to do more. What can I do more? I felt crappy before. I'm feeling better. What can I do to feel even better than I am now? Okay, before I started doing this, 2017, 2016, I would have told people my health was a 10. But compared to the way I feel now, realizing it was only a 6 or a 7. Okay, and yeah, it's remarkable. I will never ever say my health is a 10 ever again, because I just don't know how far I can go. Okay, and the one thing that most people will do when they see something uncomfortable is they'll look away. Okay, F them. Who cares? Because your neighbors, if you have a kidney disease, if you need a new liver, they're probably not going to give you a new liver. Okay, it's up to you. Health is in your hands, and only in your hands. Can't listen to idiot jabronis. You've got to become the expert on you. You have got to discover why the sun is so important and why you have to have your skin in the game. He's telling you. He says skin in the game. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. My morning routine. It's important to have morning routines. Set the day. So the rest of my morning routine, I will probably go in and do my mobilizations, and then I'll get in the cold tub, and then we'll see what the weather's doing. Maybe I will set up my, Saturday. So Saturday strength training. Part of my strength workout will be downstairs in the basement, Fitness Jabroni's dungeon. Then I'll come out, do the rest of the workout outside. Okay. But that's the routine. Get into a routine that is going to change your health. Waking up, staring at your blue lit phone, checking your email, checking your Instagram feed, your Facebook feed, that's going to feed negativity, because more than likely there's negative people on your feed. Definitely negative people on mine. That's why I try to emit as much positivity as I can. I feed my mind what I can. So the meditation I was listening to TD Jakes, okay, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, School of Greatness, all that stuff. Feed your mind positivity, and you will become the miracle you are supposed to become. Otherwise, have a great day. Stay strong. Stay positive. Be the improvement warrior. Say bye-bye, little boy. I pooped him out. So, the morning is continuing outside. Spencer woke up. Finally. Why did you miss morning sun?
Because I was sleepy.
Sleepy.
I didn't want to go to the morning sun this morning.
No, there's not a choice. You go every morning. Okay. So, now 8 to 12 is another important time to be out. And we're playing hula hoops.
Dad, you have to go higher.
Right. And then one thing I did forget to mention was,
Dad,
if you are uncomfortable with
you
obesity
need to go higher.
or thyroid issues or autoimmune issues, all autoimmune issues start in the gut. Okay? It's because you're not taking your clothes off enough and getting your skin in the game. Okay? If you have central abdominal obesity, if you have tricep
You need to go higher, Dad.
wiggle jiggle, if you have all the obesity on your hips, okay, if you have pain in your knees, pain in your low back, it's because the sun is not hitting those areas. So again, get outside, get uncomfortable. Remember, life starts right outside your comfort zone. Get outside, get uncomfortable, take your clothes off, get in the sun, and watch the miracle that will happen.
You have your kaniki on.
I do have my kaniki on.
Why can't you take your short hat off? You have your kaniki on.